Chapter 6, Day 2, second floor complete. Technique. Limited release. By turning off the subconscious safeguard, you can greatly reduce the pain you feel and raise your strength beyond normal limits. Your body will bear the burden of being pushed beyond its limit. As the pain is blurred, there are a few cases where people don't realize they are self-destructing. Pain reproduction and muscle growth rate will rise in proportion of the level. 11. 1.1 on 100. Yes. I totally understood. Thank you for everything. But could you two tell me how to use it? Quang! I was backed against the wall and being hit by the Terminator. Not the dummy sponge. No, the dummy sponge hit the wall. I was definitely glad I had the effect of pain tolerance. I couldn't retreat due to being hit in the stomach. In order to activate the command is activate technique man. In order to disable the command is disable technique name. Activate technique limiter release. I should have said it with my mouth, but ended up saying it inwardly due to being punched. But it worked. Muscle strength was exceeded the limit. Muscle strength 11. My sense suddenly disappeared. It feels like my whole body, excluding the head, had received anesthesia. Bam, bam, bam! I squatted down and guarded my body with both arms. There was no pain at all. I just feel like I was being pushed. My heart started beating wildly. It was very similar to the first time I drank coffee. I felt like I could do anything. Current balance 82 on 123. I knew that what happened to my body, and now was the time to act as quickly as possible. I gently released my guard and straightened my body. My dummy's fist slammed through the hole in my defenses. A hit. Pack! It didn't hurt. I didn't admit there wasn't an impact. My head shook and I could taste blood in my mouth. But there was no pain. Most importantly, my eyes didn't close despite hitting it. Was there such a thing, fighting without pain? I stretched out my hands towards the dummy. It didn't matter how many blows I took, I just focused on catching it. It was different from earlier. In a fight of strength, I could easily overcome the dummy like a child. Quatang! The dummy fell on the ground and I trapped it from above. Once again, this guy's weakness was obvious. If I wasn't shaken by its fist, then I could easily press and hold it down. Current balance 59 on 123. Although I have been hit quite a bit before this, that nightmare was now over. Son of a brrrr. I sat down on the dummy abdomen and used my knee to pin its arm. How I should kill this guy. Usually this enemy will be able to move even after body part have turned off. The head torso usually had to be broken before they stopped working. The torso or the head. I decided the head was my target. Punching all of my strength into my fist, I started a barrage of punch aimed at the dummy's head. Bam, bam, bam! In a matter of seconds, we have exchanged roles from Punisher and the pummeled, completely reversing the tide of the battle. Current balance 54 on 123. Current balance 51 on 123. 48 on 123. My health was reduced as I injured myself. Blood covered my fist. No matter how much the glove protected me, I was still punching solid wood. But I kept on punching. I didn't have much strength, but the face of the dummy was gradually breaking into splinters. Just a little more, quickly, die! Maybe it was the effect of a limit release that made my personality a little more radical. Named monster, wooden dummy. Scold has been handled. Suddenly, the dummy's face looked like crushed garlic. The body I held down no longer reacted to anything. It was finished. As I breathed in and out, I saw that I had 30 HP remaining. Still, I felt none of the pain in my body. Wasn't there a command to disable the technique? As a test, I just talked about it in my head. Disable technique, limited release. It was effective and the pain came flooding back. My shoulder felt like the muscle had been torn from the bone. My elbow and wrist were screaming and the bleeding fist looked raw and gory. I had crushed a wooden head with my fist. Perhaps it was for the reason. However, I done it with something else in my mind. Punching. Level 2.87 on 200. Pain tolerance. Level 5.29 on 1600. Although only one of the two talents were updated, I had gained quite a few points for them. It happened as I finished checking my body and go up. Smoke started rising from the head of the broken dummy. Okay. If it was rewinding, then it would instantly run towards the stairs. Even if I used limiter release again, I only had 30 health and would lose that from the punching. But my worst fear didn't come true. The smoke just wrapped around my fist and my head. To be honest, I was worried that it was the dummy's curse, but that fear didn't last long. You have learned the basics of the martial art imprinted on the training dummy. Technique. Ravenous Wolf Fist have been acquired. At that moment, an enormous amount of data filled my mind. Technique. Ravenous Wolf Fist. A martial art inspired by the hunting of ravenous wolves. It is characterized by the aggression that sacrifices defense in favor of hitting the opponent. The creator is an obscure master of fist technique who kept a low profile. Low level. Information learning type. It was a strange experience. The information that filled my mind wasn't two-dimensional thing like letter or picture, rather than information. It was experience. It was like I directly experienced the martial art before my sense cleared again. I formed a fist. I had never experienced martial arts before, but I tried to make a stance. The preparation was no different from boxing. Just step with that foot and let's see. Step here. Ah! I had forgotten for a moment that the condition of my arm wasn't normal. Pain tolerance 5.30 on 1600. Still, I knew for sure that I could perform with my fist. All of the dummy's movement belonged to this martial art. Of course, the speed of my fist was much slower. And if I didn't look at my stats and just the action, it seems like the technique had been imprinted into my body. If I knew more about it, then I could use it in a real fight. The previous fight popped into my head. Ansonian bastard. That Ansonian bastard. He scans the ground with gleaming eyes. He loots the left behind was shining on the ground. Elmer's dummy be destroyed. Equipment item. Rank C. Able to destroy vital spots during a surprise attack. If it is a stolen sword from the collection of Elmer, who hated golems. The quality is normal against regular creatures. When attacking an object that moves with magic or mechanical principles such as golem, it will damage a nucleus or manipulating object of the target. Well, it seems like it was the source of confidence behind Hans Onion attacking the wooden dummy so fearlessly. I didn't know if I cracked the nucleus, but according to the description of the item, it was a good weapon against golem. Hans Onion overlooked the fact that the dummy was a professional fighter. Use the load command to put it into the inventory. I was happy to take the sword that had been thrown away. As the sword disappeared from my hand, I cracked my back. Ooh! Tired, although there I was no bleeding, so my HP didn't decrease. My whole body felt heavy. I really wanted to lie down on the bed right now, but I couldn't just lay it. I don't know how much of this dungeon floor I had left. Just a little more strength. I turned off the map again. I could still get experience from the cartography skill. I moved my weary body back the way I came. Well, the remaining areas didn't take as long as I thought. Only 8 shrunk monsters emerged. I found 3 more wooden boxes and I kicked them, but all that emerged were trap blades. The only thing that I stood out was that I found another staircase. It was the one that Ansunut came down. I didn't much think of, and I went that way. Still, there was some success with the map. Cartography, level 3.241 on 400. By the time I reached level 3 and gained some experience, I was at the end of the dungeon's second floor, and in that place, stairs, it leads to the third floor. Change the following flanges in the following floor. Dungeon space has expanded. You can encounter +1 explorer. Monster below rank E will emerge. Stairs. The room was a dead end with the exact same staircase. What did it mean? I talked about it for a few minutes and came up with a few speculations. The other staircase and this one, there were 2 staircases that led to different floors. I talked about earlier. Ansunyun was on a different first floor from me. There must be countless first, second and third floor that were exactly the same. Right now, there might be many people thinking the same thing as me on the other second floor. The stairs ascending and descending just created another maze. Well, there was no point thinking about the whole structure of the dungeon just yet. If 2 stairs led to different third floor, should I go down to the same stair as Ansunyun? Honestly, my first thought was no, I dislike Ansunyun. Ansunyun had abandoned me before, and being in the same place as him would be stressful. But another idea came in mind. Ansunyun was a jerk. At least on this floor, the dungeon seemed to encourage competition rather than cooperation. I couldn't get any item when the other person did. The number of monsters was limited and gave small experience. If two people fought the wooden dummy together, it would be Ravenous Fist technique be passed on both of them? Probably not. In other words, dungeon space has expanded. You can encounter +1 explorer. This is what those words mean. It would be harder to take things. Also, the number of people that things would have been shared between would increase. On the third floor, I would encounter 2 people. If I followed Ansunyun, I could be assured that one of 2 competitors was a fool. On the third floor was no different from the second floor, and completion was encouraged. It would certainly be profitable, however, if there were an area where cooperation was required, then we would fail. I worried about it a bit when I descended the staircases. Second floor cleared. End of this chapter 6.